Hey guys, you joined me in my dad's garage. Some of our long-term subscribers may already recognise this place. I know it's been probably about 18 months since I was last here, and I know I promised that I was going to give you more regular updates than that. But unfortunately life just gets in the way sometimes. There's been a lot going on in the background, so the Escort kind of just went on the back burner a little bit. So I decided to bring Andrew, a good friend of mine, on board with me with this channel. Because we're both massively into cars, and we decided to sort of spread our wings and see what other videos we could do. So we haven't forgotten about the Escort. This is still going to be a big part of this channel, but we decided that we would go and film some other cool stuff for cars, and hopefully you like those. Some of our new subscribers, I'm assuming you probably joined because of those videos, and for all the old timers who haven't, check out some of our videos here and here. Hope you like those. But anyway, yeah, so the Escort, the long-awaited Escort, this is what it now looks like. So you're all thinking, it doesn't look that different to what it did before. For those of you that haven't ever seen the first video of this, I'll put a link above now, so you can click on that and give that a watch. And most of you will already know that the main issue, or the biggest problem with this car, is the engine. So that is what's happened since the last update. The engine is now sat in its rightful place on some proper engine mounts and not being held in with an engine lift. So we'll go into detail and show you how that's been done. But yeah, he's had a custom sump made basically, so if I can get the camera down low enough to show you that, it just about clears the cross member. So we've got an additional added bowl on here, and then the plate has been welded on as low profile as possible to clear the cross member. It's now got a Group 4 cross member on it. And then if I show you the engine mounts, so basically we've got these which haven't yet to be welded on, but they are sat quite firmly in place. And then a bar across here with some custom made plates that go on the side, and it's the same on the other side of the engine. A little bit easier to see this plate. Similar kind of setup as well. So yeah, it's held in place at the moment, as you can tell. That doesn't mean we're out of the woods yet, mind. There's still some pretty tough things to conquer on this car. One of the main things being, if you can see down here, we've got the steering column. And right there is the exit of the exhaust. So we've got to somehow manage to route an exhaust from here, through here, this very tiny little gap, while still connecting the steering rack down to that universal joint. So it's not going to be easy, but I feel like one major big step has been conquered. So the gearbox is also attached, so if we look inside the car here, you can see we have our gear stick position is going to be in a really good place. All the gearbox mounts are all done as well. Obviously I know the steering column is just in loosely at the moment, but so that is I know a lot of you have also mentioned using a Mazda RX-8 or MX-5 gearbox, which would work, but we decided to stick with the Type 9 gearbox just to keep it all original Ford, and we'll just see how that goes. I mean, if that gearbox blows up or fails on us, then I think the next logical step will be a sequential box anyway. So just trying to think what else there is to talk about this car. I'd mentioned in the last video that I was going to get down underneath. I was going to talk to you about all the things underneath. So I think I'll do that next. So hopefully you can see that in the distance over there. You can see the additional bars, which is part of the 4-link kit, and they've obviously all been welded in place inside the car. We've got the rear axle on, which at the moment isn't a limited slip diff, but I'm assured that it's going to have one eventually. But obviously the priority is at the moment to get this road legal, test drive it, make sure everything works first before all the money gets splashed out on things like LSDs. It's still running the rear leaf springs, Sorry about this, it does look really messy underneath, but it's not actually going to be that bad. Eventually, as you can see here, we've got the turnover spit, so basically the car will be turned upside down very shortly. And then all the underside is all going to be all cleaned up. So yeah, we're running the original leaf springs at the moment, but they're also going to be ditched, I believe. I know that my dad recently bought some Avo rear coilovers, which he's put the extra suspension strut turrets in there. So the next thing really is colour. We've been back and forth a lot lately, me and him. He wanted to do it orange. I mean, not for me, sorry, but I've spent ages and ages trying to convince him that if you're going to put a modern engine in the car like this, why not make it a bit more of a modern looking car? So why don't we go for a modern paint job? So that's still up in the air at the moment, but I won't reveal the colour that we've decided. But I think that we're almost there on colour. But obviously we've got probably another few months to go until we're even at that stage. There's still quite a bit of welding to do underneath. Like I said, it's going to be turned upside down, all the underside's going to be sealed. And yeah, obviously the all-important engine still needs to be finished. So another thing that I've just found on the bench, which I completely forgot to mention, is this Group 4 Watts linkage. So as well as the 4-link kit, it's going to have the Watts linkage and get rid of the leaf springs, so it's going to have the adjustable rear coilovers. So it's going to be a relatively modern rear suspension setup, and hopefully it's going to handle really well as a result. So yeah, I think that's all that I can sort of update you on at the moment. Obviously the biggest thing was the engine, so we're really excited about that. I guess the next video I'm going to release will probably be the car upside down, I would have thought, ready to weld all the underside of the sills, underseal it, and then get some primer and paint on the underneath of the car, and then turn it back the other way, and we're good to go. So I hope that you've enjoyed this little update. I know it's been a long time since I last done this video, or these videos. But yeah, please, if you've got any more questions, any comments, chuck them down below. We always try and get back to people, or as many people as we can. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more questions now, having seen the engine in place. A load of people are going to be asking things like, why didn't you dry sump it? Why did you use the Type 9 gearbox? Blah, blah, blah. How's the cooling system going to work? So yeah, any questions, we're always welcoming those. But yeah, please subscribe, and I promise that there will be more regular updates of this car. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.